12 minutes of absolute frantic pace. 31 strong members of MX3 here. Good numbers, good quality field, and when you've got the likes of the former national junior champion Prix de Boone in MX3, you know how good it is. So here it is at the moment now, 12-minute race 2 of MX3 on the line out there right now.
Proudly sponsored by Craig Stevens Motorcycles, specialist at all off-road motorcycles, both farm and motocross, as well as road bikes and spray units, repairs and maintenance. Contact Craig Stevens Motorcycles.co.nz on the State Highway #1 in Tokoroa. Part of our support with Fox, Pirelli and Aon in our New Zealand Motocross Nationals MX3. And as we've been talking about, the Daryl King, the Darren Capel, the two of those guys together, folks, they make a century of age. They make a century. In fact, they're over a century to be polite about it, but you get the idea. Two of them to make 100 years of age gives you an idea of our sport in New Zealand. It is a big family. These are well-respected guys. Man, in his day, Darren Capel would have given anything to try and beat Daryl King, and he's done exactly that at that moto today. But I tell you what, for all of the riding that Darren has done, it just shows what Daryl King can still pull out of a rabbit out of a hat when he needs to, because he was right on his tail, absolutely on his tail. And we, for the sake of the podium, called it a third equal and got DK up there to go with DC as well for that presentation. So MX3, they're part of our sport. Danny Merriman, a long time off the bike, he's back as well. So keen to see these super guys in action, and we'll be looking out to see whether others can join them. And what about our young teenager in Prix de Boone, ex-New Zealand 8 to 10 years junior motocross champion as well. So he's in the highlight of his time, and he's looking, in fact, he's hoping to get a new bike for the next round and making a change off his seasoned Honda CRF 250. So they were your hot shots last time, Prix de Boone, Danny Merriman, Darren Capel and Daryl King. Let's see who can do it this time in our Craig Stevens Motorcycles MX3 on that early part of the race at the moment. And as we look out again, you see with MX3, see, this is about quality, right? It's about quality of your riders. See how they're all bunched together like that? You're not seeing anybody left behind. These are guys that don't make an MX1 or MX2 class. Why? Because they haven't got the time or the commitment, whether it be resource-wise, whether it be financial, it doesn't matter, but they're not in that MX1, MX2 realm. So they're a MX3 class, and I just love for the fact that these guys get recognised in our sport. Who is at that next level? And these are the guys. And let's go racing with them, Brad.
Oh, absolutely. Danny Merriman, he's got a comfortable margin now, so look out for that. Darren Capel there in second place. It's William Coldray there. That's third, the local man on the YZ 450. So that's your top three. And then look to the update there. Looks at Brendan McCaskey. He's got up into fourth place there to DK Daryl King. There's Prix de Boone in what will be now seventh place and falling too. So we're losing Prix de Boone off the timing screen. There he is there. So he has a bit of work to do now. He's outside the top 10. We've got Thomas Robinson, Harrison Chisel, Richard Curtis, Curtis Gooch, Curtis, a better start from Curtis, and he's in 9th place. There's Breeder in 10th, Can't Horn rounding out to our 11th. We've got Thompson in there, Shane Gotti rounds out 13th, and then Shane Robinson, we got Shane here in 14th, and looking at 15th for Zan Nolan. So quality third of MX3, and we're almost halfway through it, about 6.5 minutes of this 12-minute moto remaining. And Andy Merriman, this is a better performance for the man who won this very event 2 years ago when we were last here.
That's another feature that we've been talking about, the fact that, here's Daryl King, that he's not been doing a lot of racing, not been doing a lot of training, but he's still a very good motocrosser, and he's reasonably fit, keeps himself healthy, of course. So a 12-minute moto, that's way better than a 20-minute moto. You're going to say it's only 8 minutes difference, man. It's not that it's 8 minutes, it's the fact that it's the 8 minutes after 12 minutes. And you ask these guys, 12 minutes is long enough to be battling out there at this intensity in motocross. So to be doing those extra 8 minutes is a huge ask, physically wise, mentally wise, and demand wise. So for these guys, a 12-minute moto is certainly sufficient, and great to have it. Our MX3 lineup at the moment, but looking to take on our run, close on 40 riders in this field again, another big gate. So Danny Merriman along with Darren Capel, William Cowdrey along with Brendan McCaskey, go to DK Mr. Daryl King in there along with Thomas Robinson, well done to Thomas, Harrison Giselle as well. Now there's a couple of our young kids, that's what we want to see. Thomas and Harrison, they're both a quality ex-junior 250 kids, or they still even might be there, it doesn't matter, because when you're either 15 or 16 years of age, you can coexist between being a junior and being a senior. One of the best overalls we've ever had brought into New Zealand motocross. The same, of course, with our minis going into juniors as well. So you don't have to have that deep blue sea. You don't have to have that crevice of being the hero in one class and being zero in the next class. So love the fact that they can transition between the two, and that's a good example of this MX3 lineup today. And when you look at people like Ctas, top flying junior 250 rider, and here he can come out into an MX3 class today. So to Thomas and to Harrison out there, good for you, Guns. And of course Harrison earned himself a podium as well at round number 1 in Balclutha 2 weeks ago. Shout out to the South Otago Club and hosting that first round. Hardy, congrats them, a true South Island club that stepped up to run the national championship. They've got a quality venue at the Lakes, Riverside Raceway in lovely Balclutha, the mouth of the Clutha River there. And here they are running a national championship event, drawing in a good crowd and good resource and making a top quality event happen. So well done to them for being our lone South Island club this year. Hopefully to grow that, and as we can see by the South Island numbers, deservedly looking to grow that as well. But Brad, an MX3, a who's who of New Zealand motocross right in front of us.
Yeah, this is good, all right. So fast enough for Peter Boone. So he's gone from 10th to 7th, and he is the fastest on track. So he's still got 4 minutes to go. Can he get himself up into at least podium contention? We've got 3 race overalls to give away. We've got this as a series now at the national level. So they get 11 race championship, just like our championship classes. So these are all important championship points, and there's plenty of them offer here. So the 25 are available for the win. And you'd have to imagine Danny Merriman with a 6.1 second lead. That's his to lose at the stage. Darren Capel, William Coldray, there second and third. Thomas Robinson getting quicker and quicker. He's up in the 4th. Brendan McCaskey, another one who's there from the Waikato on the 9.4 builds, DVH Engineering supported machine. He's getting quicker and quicker as well. And as this track gets rough, we'll see the MX3 landscape change around and go ebb and flow. So look out for it. We're coming down to the crunch, 3.5 minutes to go, and it's Danny Merriman who's well in command on his Max Gear KDM.
Well, we get set to ignite and delight with this excellent MX3 lineup, and these guys are giving their all out there. Want to do a shout out as well out in our field to all the rest of those riders, and the depth just carries on and on and on and on. So good to see the sort of quality that we've got lined up here at the moment. People out there like Sean Drysdale and Cale Duncan, along with Carlos Murray. Unfortunately, Finn Tomlinson, and on start for Finn after problems with him from that earlier moto as well. We go to Curtis and Richard and Jacan Horn, along there with Trey Getty and Zach Nolan, another name and blast in the past. And James Perry in there as well. Good to have James with it. Now there's a young gun junior rider stepping up out of 125 riders. He had his big brother Daniel, who used to race with success as well. And a shout out to Wayne and the team at Bike Busters, who've been long supporters of the fantastic Perry family and all the racing that they do. So there you go. This is just what we're talking about. You know, you've got close to 40 riders in this MX3 class today, and so many out there mixing it up. But there it is, Danny Merriman, Darren Capel and William Cowdrey as we're looking out there. Unfortunately, DK got himself up to as high as 4th place. He's dropped back to 6th at the moment, and he's got Peter Boone just in front of him. Now, Peter beat him in the last race, so there'll be a bit of a catalyst to see whether DK can get on that 2005 Yamaha YZ 250 to get up there. The Subway bike has still got the graphics on it. It's still got the number 2 on it. It's a great bike. It's got a huge amount of history in New Zealand motocross, and it's still being raced and ridden right here today by that man, our 2 times world runner-up in Daryl King out there in 6th place at the moment. But it is the Danny Merriman show, and he's smashing it by nearly 9 seconds at the moment. So come on back, Danny.
All right, this is good from Danny. Got a decent advantage, but 2nd place, quality ride from Darren Cable DC. Narrowly hung on to 3rd in the race number 1, so to go one better here and get 2nd. This is all playing into the hands of that man, DC, Darren Cable, Danny Merriman. 2nd in race number 1. He's gone one better as well, so this is going to be an exciting landscape. They've got 3rd and final race later on today, and the overall for the day could be absolutely anyone's, because Peter Moon, our race 1 winner, back in about 6th place now, so a bit of work to do, as we've got plenty of championship points on offer here. 25 for the win. At the moment, that looks to be well in command. Danny Merriman, he's got a decent advantage, and about 1 minute on the clock, so the clock will expire. The white flag will be ready to go, so 2 laps to go on MX3, and it's 1, 2, 3. They look pretty set. It looks like only drama here could shake up your podium, but with 2 laps to go on MX3 racing, absolutely anything's on here. So let's check it out. The business end of MX3 Race 2 on the cards right now.
The bike fight is back at the moment. I call it the bike fight because it is the tussle going on between the bikes and the riders. And you've got these 125s, 250s and 4-strokes and men choosing their machines out there. You've got a couple of 450s in that top run. You've also talked about the fact that I want to alert to Hayden Smith, as he's talked about as well, doing the MX1 class double today, and the fact that he's riding the 300 2-stroke out there. And as we know, Hamish Sharwood made that combo pretty famous a few years ago, still ended up in the top 3. Wasn't until he actually got on the 450 that he won the actual class, but still he was a good 300cc 2-stroke rider and amongst those more powerful 450 4-stroke motors. So a shout out to all of the different bikes as we've got in this class. So if you're looking sort of at an array of motorcycles, you'll actually get more in the MX3 class than you do in any others, because 125 is just that, 250 is just that. MX1 has a little bit more variation. The women's have got some variation as well, because that's choose your weapon kind of stuff, but most of them opting for the 250 4-strokes. But here we are, Brad, an MX3 class, a sort of a multi-kaleidoscope of motorcycles in our class.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad word, a multi-kaleidoscope motocross here. MX3, you got anything from 125 2-stroke right up to open motocross capacity. It's absolutely brilliant. So Danny Merriman, he's on the max gear KTM, and he is well in command. It's a 10.3 seconds. Back to the see Darren Cable. So Cape's in second place. William Coulthard there, still third place for him. And then look out to Tom Robinson on the number 40 machine, still the quality top 5 on the cards for him. With Peter Boone just tucked in behind him. Daryl King there in 6th place. We've got Brendan McCaskey, who's looking to be, that will be 7th place for him. Harrison Chisel, after going great at round number 1. A couple of trips to the podium for him there. He'll love these championship points as well, and he's going to be a firm contender for this overall MX3 title when we go rounds 3 and 4. Big McEwen Motocross Park. We've got Curtis Gooch in there, great top 10 on the cards here for him. Then look to James Perry. That's 10th place. Him, Trey Goddard's there in 11th. Jack Nolan, Liam Cooling. Richard Ferguson, another legend of New Zealand Motocross. That's 14th. Michael West there. Running out our top 15, Cody Shepherd ahead of Jacan Horn and Shane Robinson with Jack Swift and Jesse Shaw, our final point up for grabs for 20th place. So that's how it works with the white flag. Out and about with 10.4 seconds. It's certainly advantage to Danny Merriman. He got second in race 1. He'd like to go one better and grab some championship points. Can anyone do anything about it? You'd have to think Darren Cable, who's in second place, or even we've got Thomas Robinson and William Coulthard there, 3rd and 4th place. So a little bit of a shake-up in the podium. Let's check it out as the white flag is out. And certainly at the business end of this Craig Stevens motorcycle supported MX3. It's race 2 for these guys. They've got 3 races on the program, so as this track gets rougher, it certainly starts changing and shaking up the landscape. But 10.4 seconds in any class is going to be tough to beat again. So Danny Merriman, he's got the advantage. It's in the palm of his hand here at the moment. Can he hang on, bring it home? We're going to find out in about half a lamp's time. It's certainly something special. What a day for it here at the Rotorua Motocross Park. The sun's shining, a beautiful crowd. And welcome to everyone who's joined us. Welcome to everyone tuning in on Ctas as well. Absolute pleasure to have you here as part of our Fox, Aon and Pirelli New Zealand Senior Motocross Championship for 2023. Exciting stuff. There's a mixture of youth and experience on display in MX3 racing. We're waiting for the man on the max gear KTM to come back into our view. Danny Merriman is less than a quarter of a lap away from absolute glory here. He got a second in race number 1. A win here will give him the point speed heading into the 3rd and final race, and it's going to feel pretty good. So Danny Merriman on the 226 with Dan Strathers and Max Gear. Checkered flag waves, and it's a win. So that's brilliant stuff from Danny. And he'll be loving that. So good work there. We look to the battle for second place. Can Cates hang on? He's out of the final corner, and the checkered flag waving there. So Darren Cable hangs on. He's going to come home in second place. Thomas Robinson, who chased pretty hard at the end and shows his speed. He just got the fastest lap of the race just that time around. So there it is. He'll be good later on in the day, but he'll have to settle for 3rd there. So Danny Merriman, Darren Cable, Thomas Robinson, that is your podium. And 1, 2 and 3, Peter Boone's going to come home in 4th place to keep his overall aspirations alive with a race win in race 1. And a 4th there, and it's a quality handful of points there. William Coulthard, after being in the podium most of the race, he's going to come home in 5th place. Ahead of Harrison Chisel, who's there in 6th. DK Daryl King there in about 7th place. Brendan McCaskey, Curtis Gooch and Trey Goddard. That will wrap up your top 10 as we go and catch up with Neil, who has a bit of a shake-up at a podium this time round. Thomas DC, Darren Cable and Danny Merriman. Let's cross to Neil, who's got MX3 podium.
Right, it's one of those little sort of gaps at the moment because the guys just arrive here. They've got sweat pumping, they've got family around them, they've got excitement of ready to do a fist pump, and let's have them up here at the moment. So first of all, personal congrats, Thomas. How's that feel right now, matey?
Oh, it feels great. I'm stoked.
Of course you are, and you should be too, mate. That's absolutely superb. Right, what was the secret?
Well, you kind of just had to, I got a bad start, so I kind of just focused on my technique and just pushing through the pack. Some of them you had to force, some of them you just had to go around.
Right, so what do you think now you can do to be back here again for another race?
Well, hopefully I can get up to a second or a first, but I just need a good start and I'll be away.
All right, tell us about the bike.
Oh, the bike, I'm just loving it. First race on it, just, there's nothing bad about it. Just perfect setup, everything.
That bloke back in the pits is not too bad either.
No.
He's all right. Well done, matey. Well done. Nice to see. Look, feel the excitement in his voice. How good, how good. Well done, Thomas. And indeed, to our, in fact, there we go. We've got all of our team here. We've got our runner-up, DC. So, well done, Darren. So, I don't think DK could stay with you, mate. I think you've got him done today.
Yeah, that was a tough one for sure because I was sort of trying to ride with Danny, but I was sort of making too many mistakes, but I was well aware of the young fella coming up behind me, so it was just a matter of trying to manage it, and we just count down the laps.
Right, how's the fitness, how's your preparation been for this event?
Oh yeah, plenty of work, and yeah, just what you do at this age in life, but enjoying it out there, it's a lot of fun, so just keep it up right.
Well done to Mr. Darren Cable, good work. But indeed, as he says, the man to beat is Danny Merriman, and Danny the winner. So well done, Danny. We've been waiting a long time to see you back here, matey, and you've done it with glory this time. So your body's still feeling all right now?
Well, that's debatable. It's not feeling too bad, but definitely need a little bit more training and some riding. But now that I'm semi-healed up, I'm eager to get back on the bike.
Right, you can come to Taupo for the final as well?
Ooh, we'll see what happens, eh? Yeah.
I'm sure you can do it. But how good's that track out there today?
Well, I will say, yeah, the track is pretty bloody good. Like, the ruts are forming pretty nicely. Yeah, there's a few gnarly holes here and there, but hey, you just gotta stand up, grip with your knees and go hard.
Go hard. You heard it from the man winning MX3. So well done to Danny today. So there you have it in our hotshot class today. So Hardy, congrats for MX3. Still plenty of good racing to go, folks. We're rocking through them. We've got MX1 coming up, and then we're going to repeat everybody for that third and final round today. This is round number 2 of our NZ Motocross Nationals, brought to us by Aon with Pirelli and Fox, super sponsors.